I hope everyone is doing well today and that you're all keeping yourselves safe and healthy through these times of uncertainty. I think that recently we've all been hearing news about the spread of germs and the issues for overcrowding areas as we try to flatten the curve for COVID-19. So our presentation today is actually one that is quite relevant in our current world affairs. That's right. Today, the purpose of our presentation is to open a discussion about the current status of facilities maintenance in the Johnson Cobbe Energy Center, located here at SAIT in Calgary. There have been quite a bit of questions amongst our classmates recently regarding the state of bathrooms and the functionality of escalators.
It has come to our attention that some students are being inconvenienced with crowded stairwells and slower travel time while getting from class to class. Another issue that our team has noticed is that in between classes and during mid-class breaks, many washrooms are crowded or totally shut down due to toilet, sinks, and urinals that have been placed out of order, forcing students to seek out a bathroom that is functional. This display of lack of facilities maintenance, resulting in a decline in students' productivity, is what we want to address. We here at Jam Energy Services have risen to the task of finding out whether there is an issue of neglected facilities in the Johnson Cobbe building and what really could be done to prevent that issue. By collecting resources in formats of primary research, observations, surveys, and interviews, as well as secondary resources taken from online readings materials, our team has created this presentation to find out if something needs to be done within the Energy Center.
Let's take a moment to introduce our team members, the one behind all the work. My name is Michael Rodriguez, Editor-in-Chief here at JAM. I've been the one responsible for piecing our data together and making sure it's delivered in a way that all of our group members are satisfied. You just previously heard from Joaquin Utreras, our head of research. He's been awesome at digging up information from various sources, English and Spanish, and they've been super helpful informing us with all the online factors that we've been looking for. Opening our presentation was our lead data analyst, Eris Bandongen. He's been working tirelessly over the last weeks, organizing and carrying out the student body of this presentation. He's been doing surveys over the student body of this presentation. Eris has kept our information in check the whole time, and he's been the guy to ask when a second opinion's been needed on something within our work. Together, we make up Jam Energy Services, and we are all really excited to be here today to present our findings to you. So let's get to it then. Today's presentation is going to cover a variety of subjects in order for you to get a clear understanding of what exactly we've been doing since January. Today, we're going to discuss why it's important to have clean, functioning bathrooms within a school setting and how the proper practices of these facilities maintenance operations influence student productivity. Our team members are going to introduce points that have been derived from their research through observation, surveys, and interview results. And we're going to crack this whole issue of facilities neglect wide open. So I'm going to pass it over to Joaquin here. He's going to open up our bathroom section. Joaquin?
Thank you. From a research made by the U.S. National Library of Medicine, we can confirm that there is a presence of 19 different types of bacteria across surface related with toilets, bathroom floors, and surface that a lot of people use or touch. From these results, there was an interesting part saying that the greatest or most dangerous bacteria were found to be influenza, fecal bacteria, E. coli, salmonella, hepatitis, streptococcus, and norovirus. So now, to prevent the spread of disease and nurturing of bacteria, protective measures are as simple as the implementation of a regular cleaning and sanitation of the surface where these bacteria can be present. In turn, the presence of a clean facility has been said to improve students and staff productivity. Now, in this other slide, you will be able to see an observation of the bathrooms of Johnson Cobbe's building that we made as a team. For this, the team made 2 observations per day, one in the morning between 10 and 11 a.m., and another one in the afternoon between 4 and 5 p.m. From this observation, we can say that every day the situation in the morning was pretty much the same. No trash on the floors, clean mirrors, and of course, no bad smells. But on the other hand, when we look at the results in the afternoon, the situation was a whole different thing. There was trash on the floor, the mirrors were really dirty, and to be honest, the smell of that places were really bad. Another interesting thing that we can see in this observation is that there was a toilet out of service for almost the whole week. This started in a Tuesday's afternoon and lasted until Friday's afternoon. With this, we can say that the maintenance of the bathrooms in the building are not as good as they should. So now Aris is going to talk to you about some surveys results.
Thank you for that, Joaquin. Moving on to the survey that was sent out before reading break, here are the results gathered from a total of 10 respondents. First off, when it came to the bathroom conditions in the Johnson Cobbe building, we discovered that the topic of bathroom cleanliness is something that really matters to people, as 9 out of 10 that took their survey responded with a 10. 10 meaning very important when asked the importance of the cleanliness of a public restroom to them. We can also see here from the charts that the majority of the 10 respondents encountered a washroom facility with poor sanitary conditions on a weekly basis, while 4 people encounter them every day. When asked about their waiting time experiences due to a toilet or urinal being out of service in the washrooms, 7 out of 10 responded to have experienced such a situation at least once a week. Now moving on to Michael with the...
Thanks, Aris. I would just like to discuss the primary research results that I was able to attain during an interview with Miss Jacqueline Dambois. She's the campus building and grounds coordinator, overseeing all of the facilities management here at SAIT, and I'm extremely grateful that she was able to offer us help. On February 25th, 2020, I was fortunate enough to conduct an interview with Ms. Dambois regarding the current state of the facilities here at the Johnson Cobbe Energy Center. I asked if she was aware that some of the students found that the maintenance of the facilities in that building were lacking, particularly cleanliness and functionality of equipment. She replied with a really great answer, actually. She did say, a big reason that the bathrooms have been subpar is simply because there have been some growing pains between a contract change. This quote meant a lot to me because it instantly changed my perspective on the subject. Where I once thought that this was a cause of staff neglect, I now realize that there are other factors that needed to be taken into account. Jacqueline went on to describe some of the issues that arise when another company comes into play. And they want to do things differently from previous contractors, so there's always that issue. Jacqueline also admitted that she had noticed some of the bathrooms in disarray, but was quickly able to give reasons. She stated that while there are some remaining staff from the previous contractor, supervisors and higher-ups had changed and that they were still trying to work out all the kinks in creating a smoother maintenance plan. I then explained to Jacqueline that one of our methods to solving the issue of dirty bathrooms could be by installing some signage within the facilities, reminding users to maintain a level of respect. I reminded Jacqueline that there was signage in the Stan Grad building and that it does seem to have an effect there. Jacqueline was pleased to hear that we thought that it was a success to have signage in other buildings, and she did note that the signs were planned to be installed in the Johnson Cobbe building. It had just been taking some time. So with that interview being conducted, we were able to find out that perhaps the timing of us noticing the bathrooms is in a bit of neglect definitely had something to do with it. With the contractual change and all, we did discuss some budget matters, but it didn't really prove to us why the bathrooms seemed unmaintained. Yeah, the new contractor is a bit cheaper than the old one, and Jacqueline did admit that her budget had some decreases over the recent years, but her answers assured me that this issue could be mitigated with a couple of our recommendations that we came up with, which will be discussed soon. I'd like to let Joaquin continue with the conclusion of our research resources, and he will be able to kind of wrap up what we've been talking about. Joaquin?
For a conclusion, we can say that bad condition of our bathrooms can get us very dangerous bacteria or diseases like the influenza. To avoid or prevent this, implementing a regular cleaning and sanitation of the bathroom is the best way. The maintenance of the bathrooms of Johnson Cobbe building is not good enough so as to prevent the hazards or bacteria or diseases that we can get through all of these kind of things. And a big reason that the bathroom have been so part is simple because there have been some growing pains between a contract change. Now, Eris is going to talk to you about the benefits of escalators.
Thank you for that, Joaquin. To provide more insight, our team has gathered credible information regarding the benefits of escalators. The first and most credible point is that escalators are overall more efficient than stairs, allowing for heavier loads to be carried to another floor at ease and the comfort they provide. Escalators also have the benefit of being able to direct the flow of traffic within a building by only moving towards one direction. This in contrast to crowded staircases with people both going up and down on them. The breakdown of these facilities would render these benefits useless. The most common causes for these breakdowns is due to the improper uses of the facilities due to the lack of knowledge and training on its proper uses. The most common actions of improper use of these devices is walking or running up on them, or standing directly on one side instead of standing in the middle. However, the research our team has conducted has proved that these malfunctions are generally caused more often due to the device's safety systems within them, which are highly sensitive. These automated stairways can be fatal to a person with a disability or a lack of awareness, meaning that the slightest hint of anomalous behavior, such as trying to hold back the handrails, will cause the device to shut down. Now we'll have Joaquin discuss his primary research.
So thanks, Eris. In this slide, you will see the results of the observations made by our team of the escalators in Johnson Cobbe building to see the issue of constantly broken down escalators. For this, we made one observation per day between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. during 5 days, Monday to Friday. Well, from this observation, we can say that while there are more functioning escalators than shut down ones, there is only one set that remains running through the weekdays. Every other day within the Johnson Cobbe building shut down at least one day during the week. And there is evidence that shows that the escalators are even prone to being down multiple days during the school week. Now Eris is going to introduce some survey results about.
Thank you for that, Joaquin. Now moving on to the survey results gathered from the survey pertaining to escalator facilities. We received varying responses as to how people feel on the subject. However, looking at it statistically, we can conclude that 8 out of 10 people care about their operation, as they answered between a 6 to a 10. When they were asked about how frequent their encounters were with an elevator that was out of service within the building, we discovered that all respondents encounter them at least once a week. Now we'll be moving on to Michael with his interview results.
Thanks again, Eris. Yeah, I'd like to bring us back to the interview that was conducted with Ms. Dambois, the facilities manager, as I was able to get a bunch of information from her regarding escalators in the building. So after we had discussed the bathrooms, I asked Dambois about the escalators and why there always seemed to be at least one down out of order. I asked Jacqueline if there was a maintenance plan that followed, and she informed me that by law, escalators must be thoroughly inspected monthly. I thought to myself that this could be one of the reasons itself, as inspections obviously take some time to complete, and there are a lot of escalators in the building, 8 to be exact. Now, Jacqueline was quick to give me another and more significant reason that the escalators were constantly stopped. She went into detail about the vast amount of safety features escalators come with, all that will instantly shut down the apparatus if any of the features are triggered. As you can see on this slide, there are 16 different safety shutdown devices that come with any model of escalator. Since there are so many, with all different parameters, there's really no wonder why they are constantly stopping. I did think to myself, though, all these devices can't be tripped that often. But when I asked Jacqueline about this, I was actually a bit surprised with her answer. When I asked her if these shutdowns were constantly being triggered, she replied with this: I think the biggest issue with the escalators always being down actually boils down to the end user. Sometimes people will push the e-stop button simply because they don't like hearing the noise while they study. This takes the escalator out of service until somebody with a reset key comes to the area and turns it back on. They hate the alarm that buzzes now and then, and they just shut it down, and nobody can get it going again without that reset key. So while her answer seemed a bit shocking, I figured, well, couldn't the escalator just be turned on if someone wanted to? I was actually informed that these escalators need that reset key in order to be running again. And to make matters worse, Jacqueline was pretty much the only staff in the entire building with that reset key. There was one in the janitor's office, but we're not sure if even the staff know about it or how to use it or anything. So knowing all of this, we've definitely been able to make some conclusions that people within the building definitely could use some education on how easy it is to shut down the escalators. And then it's a bit of a pain to have to constantly keep coming back and forth, turning these on when they have shut down, especially when Jacqueline's the only one that really has the power to get that thing going again. She can't exactly spend her days running back and forth, getting everything up and running. Okay, I want to direct your attention to Eris. He's going to deliver our conclusions on escalators in the Johnson Cobbe building.
Thank you for that, Michael. To wrap up the discussion of the state of the escalators here, with all the data we've collected through both primary and secondary research, we learned that the main benefit of escalators is through their efficiency and the comfort and ease they provide for travel, meaning that travel time between classes is reduced. Due to major safety concerns, a multitude of safety features have been implemented in escalators. Our team has identified the major cause of our escalator shutdowns to be the end user usage. Next, we'll have Michael start us off with the conclusions.
Thanks, Eris. Okay, so you've seen all of our data that we've come up with. Let's try and wrap it all up into a bundle here. We've looked at Joaquin's observational study results, we've seen Eris's survey results, and you've heard what Ms. Dambois had to say during our interview together. After tying all of this data together and adding our secondary online source pointers, we at JAM have been able to make the following conclusions. The detriments of poor hygiene in school washrooms have a direct effect on students. Students are more comfortable and their time is spent more efficiently at school when washrooms are clean and functional. It has been identified through observation that the bathrooms in the Johnson Cobbe building could use hygienic improvement. Users of the Johnson Cobbe building show concern that the cleanliness of the building facilities is lacking. And for escalators benefit the student population by increasing comfort and ease of travel. Escalators are equipped with a multitude of safety shutdowns that can trigger from minor events. Students have noticed a decline in operating escalators and would like to see them operating at a more common frequency. The end user plays a significant role in why the escalators are constantly being shut down, and there are very few staff members within the Johnson Cobbe building that have those reset keys in order to reset them once they have been shut down. So really what we're saying is that yes, there is an issue of the bathroom being dirty, out of order, and disrupting student productivity. We're saying that the escalators are sitting there, not working, and that students have noticed and are troubled by this. By conducting all of this research, we've been able to deduce that, yeah, this is a pretty significant issue within the Johnson Cobbe Energy Center. And by making some recommendations and taking action, we can improve the overall well-being of the state of facilities in the Energy Center. Joaquin's going to go through our recommendations here.
Michael. So we have been able to come up with some recommendations for SAIT that would benefit the school and students alike in a long run. After doing some deep thinking and really analyzing all of our information, the team has come with the following. Purchase and install SAIT in all bathrooms and on all escalators, asking for an increased level of facilities respect, issuing more escalator reset keys to staff within the Johnson Cobbe building, and introduce a program within the mandatory SAIT orientation, educating users about facility respect and courtesy. This solution might sound simple, but they really go a long way. As you hear in our discussion about SAIT in the other buildings with Ms. Dambois, and how easy the distribution of more escalator reset keys would be. An addition of a program within the online student orientation would be extremely beneficial because it covers everyone who enroll at SAIT. Since orientation is mandatory, there would be that ethical agreement that every student acknowledge as they finish the orientation. This program would introduce that accountability that appears to be currently lacking within Johnson Cobbe. And we at JAM believe that would greatly increase the overall condition of the facilities within the building. Now, Eris is going to grab the things that we already have.
Thank you, Joaquin. Through the website stickercanada.com, we've been able to get a rough idea of what 100 stickers would cost, and based off our team's labor rates and time it would take, we're thinking that applying signage to the Energy Center would cost $935. Next, after doing a bit of research online to find the prices of cutting a dozen keys, costhelper.com informed us that we're looking at around $84, and adding our labor and time, that bumps up to $234. Finally, the team had estimated the addition of a program within SAIT's orientation would take around 20 hours at $30 per hour, totaling $600. After totaling these costs and adding a 20% safety net for any calculation or estimation errors, the end result would reach an estimated total of $2,122.80. This total sounds completely reasonable for a project within institutions such as SAIT. We believe that with our recommendations, this project would most likely even pay for itself within a year, since there would be less equipment falling out of order and the frequency of calling repair contractors would also decrease along with that. JAM Energy Services is confident that these recommendations would forever increase student productivity at a reasonable price too. With that being said, we'd like to let you know that any questions or concerns that you might have thought of during the presentation can be directed to JAM Energy Services, jamenergy.com/about/contact. We hope that our examples and explanation have been thorough, but we'd always love to hear your thoughts and feedback. We at JAM continually try to find ways to become more efficient and productive group. And with our recommendations, we want to improve the facilities maintenance in the Johnson Cobbe Energy Center. We want to share our productivity with the student body here at SAIT. We want to keep SAIT as a competitive, impressive institution that we are all proud to be a part of. Thank you all for your time, and we hope you have enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks.